It's Tuesday, August 19th, and here's some of the news beyond the headlines. Ukraine's military campaign against pro-Russia separatists in the embattled east has not only forced them to retreat, it's put pressure on their leaders to keep fighters in line. The government of the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic has adopted a new criminal code. Military tribunals will be set up to hear cases of treason, espionage, desertion, and other offenses, which under the code are punishable by death. Top leaders are angry that some among their ranks are looting and using violence against civilians, which could discredit their cause as they seek to recruit more rebels to repel Ukrainian forces. Russia has again reminded its citizens of the risks of challenging the Kremlin. A Moscow court has convicted 4 people detained during an anti-government protest the day before President Vladimir Putin's inauguration in 2012. Ilya Gushin, Alexander Margolin, and Alexei Gaskarov were jailed for between 2.5 and 3.5 years each on charges of inciting violence in Bolotnaya Square. Elena Kokhtaryeva was given a suspended sentence. The verdict comes less than a month after prominent activist Sergei Udaltsov was sentenced to 4.5 years for coordinating the demonstration. Yemen has tightened security around the capital following calls for mass anti-government protests. Tens of thousands of people joined demonstrations in Sana'a on Monday against rising fuel prices, which doubled in July after the government ended its energy subsidy program. But unlike similar fuel protests in the past few weeks, thousands of supporters of the Shia Houthi tribe chanted slogans demanding the fall of the government. Officials say the price hike was needed to avoid economic collapse, but the head of the Houthi movement has warned of, quote, further steps if the decision isn't reversed by Friday. Lebanese Shia militant group Hezbollah will allow younger men on the battlefield as the growing threat of the Islamic State expands the region's front lines. The organization has lowered the minimum age for its fighters in Syria from 18 to 16. It may be an indication Hezbollah's army is stretched thin between fighting alongside Syrian government forces and battling Sunni militants within Lebanon's borders. And while the group has its most experienced fighters on reserve, it is dispatching advisors and trainers to new battlegrounds in Iraq. Check out the VICE News YouTube channel for more original reporting and documentaries from around the world.
The worst flooding in over a century. And suddenly, the war was back on the surface.
A sada čekaš svaki dan da nam predaju kosti, eto, teško.